Hello, everyone. I am now a fellow of the American Academy of Optometry. Yeah, big congratulations to me. I am super excited because finally, I am here. What started as what seems to be a long but tough journey has officially come to an end. Even though I couldn't make it in person, but I just received my certificate today, so we're going to open this together. This is it. You're speaking to the latest FAAO. So now I am free to add FAAO to my title. Okay. All right. So let's talk about my journey to becoming a fellow of this prestigious academy. It all started in December 2024 when I registered. I joined a group of African aspiring fellows. I got mentorship on that platform. They helped me a lot. I asked a lot of questions and I was helped by colleagues who had gone ahead of me. Now, how I wish I embarked on this journey long ago. Really, I should have done this long ago. But well, it's never too late. So let me walk you through my journey, how I became a fellow. It all started in December when I registered, and by January I began writing my case reports. But I should have started writing my case reports by December actually, so I started a bit late to write my case reports. But before then, I would like to talk to you about what it takes for you to be eligible. First of all, you have to be a graduate optometrist. And then we have three categories. We have the clinical category, we have the scientific category, we have the special category. So for clinical category, you have to be a practicing optometrist involved in clinical practice. For the scientific category, for those who have, maybe you're in the academia, or even if you're not in the academia, you have published some articles, you have done some research and published in reputable journals. You now have the special category. Maybe you're not in clinical practice, but you have contributed in one way or the other in the field of optometry. So for my own case, my I used my clinicals, I also used my special category. I wrote two case reports. I already had the master's degree in public health, so I used that, and I also used a leadership essay, which is like how I've contributed to the field of optometry from my graduation till date. And you would need a minimum of 50 points to qualify for this program. So how did I get my 50 points? I wrote two case reports. One case report gives you 10 points. I wrote two case reports. I used my master's degree certificate that gave me 20 points. Then my leadership essay gave me 10 points. But if you want to embark on this program and you don't have a master's degree, you have not contributed to the field of optometry in any way, you would need 5 case reports. Remember that each case report gives you 10 points, so you would need 5 case reports to accrue your 50 points. And then there are some people who don't even bother writing case reports. They have contributed well enough to the field of optometry. So 6,000 worded essay can give you 50 points, while 1,200 worded essay can give you about 10 points or so, and then you can make it up with other things. Alright, so I hope that is clear. So now back to my journey, how I started. I began writing my case reports. Before, I actually thought it was going to be an easy task, but when I went into it, I found out that it wasn't even as easy as I thought. I almost gave up a lot of times. I almost gave up, honestly. But I kept asking myself, what's your why? What's your why? I kept seeing the end result. I kept seeing me with my certificate. I kept seeing me mentoring others who want to be fellows. in this academy. So that kept me going, and of course with support from my colleagues, from my family, and here I am today. Especially when I got feedbacks from my subcommittee chair with a lot of corrections. Like, it would even question your intelligence when you see all these corrections. Sometimes I just look at it and then I'll be like, where do I even begin from? So sometimes I would go back, I would have to rewrite a particular paragraph, I would have to rewrite some things. At some point I even mixed up my references, so that even made me to like go back to start afresh. So it wasn't easy at all. So I finished my first case report with the back and forth corrections and all of that. I always ran my case reports through plagiarism checks, because plagiarism is a very, very big offense in this academy. So before you even submit to your subcommittee chair, you have to run it through plagiarism check to be sure that it is fit for submission. My case reports were about the first one was a myope, a high myope, who was also glaucomatous. She had primary open-angle glaucoma. And my second case report was a low vision case on a patient who had oculocutaneous albinism. So those are the two case reports I wrote. And these two case reports I wrote, just two case reports, and it felt like I wrote 5 case reports. So I finished that with the corrections, and the correction was a big deal because sometimes it felt like I was even rewriting the entire case report. I finished that, I met up with the deadline, and then I wrote the second case report, the same back and forth and all. I met up with the deadline, and I finished this program in 1 year because I was always meeting up with my deadline. So if you're not able to meet up with your deadline, that means it's going to take you 2 years to complete. When I finished, I was qualified to proceed for the oral examination, and that was another work on its own because I needed to study. I studied why, because I didn't know where the questions were going to come from. The questions could come from the differential diagnosis, it could come from your discussion section, it could come from anywhere. So that was another round of sleepless nights, right? So to the glory of God, I went in for the oral exam. It went so well, and after that, yes, I knew I was sure I was going to pass, but I was also anxious. Then the next morning, I checked through my email and I got a congratulatory message that I had made it. I was now a fellow of the academy. So I encourage someone watching this video, if you're not yet a fellow, I invite you, just come in and join us. If you have questions on how you can become a fellow, or maybe you're already in the process but you're stuck somewhere, or you even gave up, right? So after watching this video, just go back, pick up yourself and continue. Thank you so much for watching and for sharing in my joy. And if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and stay put, because I may probably make more videos on how you can write your case reports and every other thing in between.